these days. Every now and then on a Sunday morning, you get a chance to chop it up with Brian Elam and show him how to get blood going to his brain. What's up, buddy?
Oh man, it's been a good day so far. Glad to be here, Chris. Thanks for having me on.
It's funny how we were just talking about it's the kickoff of football, at least
Oh,
preseason. Here's one of my favorite trinkets that I keep around my office. A replica Tom Brady Super Bowl ring.
very nice. I was just gonna ask if you got that from Brady himself.
No, a buddy of mine works for the New England Patriots, and he got me hooked up with a replica company that made a very good replica. This is actually a pretty good replica, if you ask me. Like,
I mean, it looks legit.
yeah, no, it's. I wear this sometimes when I play poker, and people just beg me to try it on, and I'm like, no, you can't. It's mine. I had somebody try to steal this from me too.
Oh, I
He,
believe it.
yeah, he was staying with me because he needed a place to crash, and I saw him wearing it one day, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I thought it'd be cool to wear out." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think it'd be cool if you took it right the fuck off and give it back to me." Sometimes you let people stay at your house and you realize, holy fuck, that guy's stealing my shit.
Yeah,
Watch,
no
watch
bueno.
he's on his own now. He's not crashing here anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
So talk to me a little bit about your journey of faith.
Boy, yeah, that big leap of faith, that for
I mean,
me
it's Sunday,
came.
right?
What's that?
It's Sunday, right?
It is Sunday. You're right. You're right. And I put a lot of faith in myself and a lot of faith in God when I decided to move from the middle of the country to the Southwest here in Arizona
Where'd you
to
move from?
I moved from a place called Russell, Kansas.
I moved from Chicago to Vegas after 2012.
Okay. I came out here in 2008 and I decided at that because I've been a musician. I've been playing drums since I was 13 years old. Love it. And I just kept doing it. And at the point when I reached about 26, 27 years old, I decided, you know what? I'm not getting any younger. And if I want to actually chase my dream of being in a famous rock band, I've got to do something else. I got to get out of here. So I started searching everywhere, all over the internet. I looked in Kansas City. I looked in Alabama, Tennessee, Florida. And then I found a guy out here in Arizona who was doing something in rock that I had never heard. It was heavy, but yet it was dark and emotional. And I've never heard those two combined together in that way. And I was like, all right, man, let's do this.
That's your calling. That's your
That's
calling. Pretty sure you said, let's fucking do this. I'm pretty sure. At that moment in time, when you're pumped up and you're listening to heavy rock, there's no fucking way you didn't say, let's fucking do this.
you might be onto something there. You might be onto something. Absolutely. And yeah, it took a huge leap of faith to leave everything and everyone that I've ever known and move out here by myself to start a new life.
I
And
think in some ways that's actually good because when you're on your own, when you're all by yourself, that's when you really look inside for your solutions. A lot of people, they're always looking for somebody else to solve their problems. Hey, can you lend me some money? Hey, can you give me a job? Hey, can you give me some direction? But when you're by yourself, you start looking for inside yourself and you're like, hey, none of those people are coming to my savior. They're not going to help me. It's me and God. And God's there to talk to. I can talk to him all day long. I need a question answered. God, here's my question. And eventually he'll answer it for me. So
that's
at the end of the
100%.
day, when you're by yourself, that actually is a plus. It's not a minus. I always tell people it's kind of like you ever see the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Fucking guy was on an island. All he had was some old FedEx boxes that he could open up and find out what was in their potluck and a soccer ball. Was it a soccer ball or was it a volleyball?
I think it was a volleyball.
I think it was a volleyball to him. Now that I think about it. What do you call him? Wilson? Wilson.
Wilson. Yeah.
What a great ad for Wilson Corporation.
Right.
And literally he had to create a fictional friend, but it was up to him to get his ass off that island. And then he just took Wilson and built himself a raft and skinny version of himself and Boat came along and said, let's get this guy out of the water.
Yep.
By the way, rest in peace to Wilson, who got blown away in the wind.
Right. He was a good dude. He was a good
He,
dude.
he was good while he lasted.
Exactly. It's so funny that you bring up the idea of a guy being alone or stranded on an island because I'm actually rewatching a series right now called Arrow, who, if you've ever seen it, is about a guy that gets trapped on an island and has to survive.
What's is it ARROW, like the bow and arrow?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it
It
like a Netflix series or something?
Well, it's not a Netflix series. It was originally on the WB, but Netflix has it right now in its
Oh, I think I've
entirety.
seen it. It's the guy with like he has like a hood. He wears a hood.
Yep.
I,
That's
I
the
don't
one.
see I didn't watch it, but I've seen like the clips for it that said, "Hey, watch this."
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It can get a little campy at times, but I'm okay with that. It's all just superhero stuff, which is cool.
I like superhero stuff.
I do
We gotta,
too.
we gotta have something to believe in when things get crazy in our world. And I think fictional, science fiction, and superheroes, they let us, go into another world and literally forget all the shit that we got going on in our lives.
And it gives us something aspirational to look up to. It makes
That's
us,
right. If we take
yeah.
enough gamma radiation in, we can become the Hulk.
That's right.
Shout out to all the gamma radiation that we're taking in from the sun every day.
Oh my God, you're talking truth about that, especially here in the Southwest. Good God, it's been hot
You're
lately.
down in Phoenix, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm coming to speak there in September at an event called Brand X, and I'm speaking about AI or die.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. Very cool. Well, yeah, you'll have to hit me up when you're down here. Maybe we can hook up and like have a drink or
If
something.
you
And
want
just
a pass, I'll give you a pass. You're welcome to come as my guest.
done.
Yeah, I got two chairs and a videographer. We're going to be doing interviews when I'm not speaking on stage. Yeah, I think it should be a great event. It's at the Convention Center in Phoenix.
Yep. Been there many times.
I'll be
Awesome, dude. Yeah.
there
What
for
a
the first time.
synchronicity.
Yeah, exactly. God works in mysterious ways. On the Sunday morning when we're out chopping it up online, God's sitting there moving chess pieces. Let me see. Let me put Chris in Phoenix. He'll hook up with Brian. They'll do an interview. Brian will make great connections. Bing, 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 bing. A year from now, you're like, fuck, all that from a podcast.
That is that is why I love this. I love this platform. I love having my own podcast. You get to meet so many incredible people, and you're right. We're here just chopping it up to try to add value to each other and the audience, but we're not here with any expectations. But hey, something just manifested. I didn't ask for it, and here it is. It's a
Well,
beautiful thing, and that's why I love this platform.
it's funny. Me and my team about a year and a half ago, or a little over a year ago, went down the AI rabbit hole, and we built the largest AI podcast booking platform in the world. And part of that platform required us to get data. So we have an AI agent that literally goes and scrapes and gets all the data from podcasts and their email address and the person that runs it and the name and the whole 9 yards. And we get that data. And I've noticed that data over the years' time go from 3.7 million to now where it's 4.25 million. And it's
Mm.
all verified files. Like we can send it an email and it won't bounce because if it bounces, we don't put them in our database. And I read a story recently that said in the next 5 years, there will be 40 million podcasts out there, and it'll almost be like a business tool. Like you have to have a podcast in order to promote your business, your brand, your everything.
Yeah, it's another way to add an authoritative layer to what you're doing, but also to more deeply connect with whoever your ideal client or customer is. As you can tell stories, you can give examples. It's a fantastic medium. And I'll say this to anybody else that's thinking about starting a podcast. You mentioned some incredible numbers about the amount of podcasts that are out there and are going to be started. But did you know only about 1% of those actually ever make it past 10 episodes? So right there tells you, yeah, there's a lot of noise out there, but if you stick with it, you're going to cut through in this medium.
Well, let's be honest. There's a lot of people that quit on themselves, and they quit because they are afraid to succeed. I hate to say it, but people are afraid to succeed. Now, what do I mean by that? People are afraid to succeed, because when you succeed, you have to work hard all the time. I tell
Mhm.
people all the time, success requires you to wake up and get to work every single day. Like, Elon Musk says, I work every day, but he also works on things that he's passionate about. Going to Mars, building electric cars, doing solar, Neuralink, all these things he's passionate about. And he builds his day and his meetings down to like 5-minute meetings. He has these like 5-minute quick meetings with people. And I love that about him. I've learned a ton about that from him. But at the end of the day, when you're an entrepreneur, if you're going to be successful, the price that is required to be successful is you have to show up and make each and every day count. That is the rent. The rent is due every day if you're going to be successful. Some people think, oh, the rent's due at the end of the month for my house. I'm not talking about the rent for your house. I'm talking the price you have to pay to be successful. And that payment, that rent is due every day. You wake up, the rent is due. You got to get to work. You got to make shit happen.
That's 100% right. 100% right. You can't expect, and again, we're just like we were talking about expectations before, you can't expect things are going to happen for you and to you just because you put yourself on this pedestal, like, oh, I'm a podcaster now, or oh, I'm an entrepreneur now. And that means that stuff's just going to come to me. Yeah, I learned that lesson a long time ago that ain't the case.
Well, let's agree on one thing also. There are a lot of entrepreneurs, but there are few entrepreneurs. In fact, I know so many people that say, I'm going to be CEO. I'm going to go for CEO. I'm going to make it happen. But they've never become CEO of a business and they've never pursued it. And it's because they're afraid. They're afraid. They want that salary. They want that paycheck that somebody gives them for telling them what to do. I always tell people, listen, at the end of the day, whether you work for somebody else or you work for yourself, at the end of the day, you have to put in 40 hours a week to get the paycheck. The only difference is when you work for somebody else, they give you a paycheck and tell you what to do. When you work for yourself, you got to tell yourself what to do. You're the boss. And people forget that. And at the end
Yeah,
of the day, not everyone wants to be the boss. Not everyone wants to pay the price. Not everyone wants to pay the rent.
right, right. And it goes, I love that you said the words that they were going to make it happen. Well, you can't make something happen. You can't force it. Just like those people they want is that CEO position because they're chasing money. Well, money is the byproduct of you pursuing the passion and being aligned with who you are. That's the byproduct. It's not the result.
I found out that if you chase money, you might get it, but you won't get the money that you really thought about chasing. But if you chase purpose, if you
Yes.
chase purpose with passion, you will get all the money you ever dreamed of. It will come at you like a river. It'll just fall out of the sky. And people always say, well, but I got rent and I got to pay these bills. Listen, chase purpose. Make your life a purpose and chase it with passion. And all those things will get paid. And then some. You'll have money just come at you like droves and droves and droves. Yeah, but I got to pay my rent. Don't worry about the rent. Focus on passion and purpose.
That's right. They were put here for a reason. We all were. And when you start tapping into that, that's when the rewards start coming, not from this earth that you think it's coming from. It's coming from God Himself.
By the way, shout out to God for making cashew nuts. I don't know what it is, but they're my favorite nut.
Dude, I'm addicted to, I get these fancy mixed nuts from Sprouts, and they're just fantastic. I go through probably like 2 bags a week.
Oh my God, I fill this thing up, and this is my like go-to for putting stuff in my mouth when I'm talking to people. But I literally dig, I like dig to find the cashews. When I find a cashew, it's like a golden nugget. I'm like, fuck yeah. So talk to me a little bit about your roadmap. What do you got going on over the next 18 months?
So over the next 18 months, I am going to be engineering a coaching program that will essentially take what I've got, this big, amazing, beautiful asset of my podcast where I interview these successful entrepreneurs, and I'm going to bring that to the emerging entrepreneurs that need help and guidance, not only from me, but from the lessons that I've learned interviewing these crazy successful people in business. So that's what's going to be happening over the next 18 months. I'm actually working right now with a professional whose entire business is helping people solidify, maximize their offer, and put funnels together and in place to have pipelines to get people in the door so you can serve them. And that's what's going to be happening and building up over this next 18 months. And I am super excited about it.
It's funny. You mentioned funnels. And one thing that I've learned over the last year, more than ever before, is at the top of the funnel in life that you have today, from a standpoint of business, you got to get views on your content. You have to create engaging content. Your message has to be great. People have to want to listen to your message, but you got to get views. If you get 10 views, that's your audience. If you get 100 views, that's your audience. If you get 1 million views, that's your audience. But from those views, you get some people that say, hey, you know what? This guy's worth following. I don't care. He swears little, he's bald, but I like his shit. And then you get followers. And then out of those followers, you get subscribers. People, hey, I'll give this guy $5 to be a part of his private program. I'll subscribe to his bullshit. And then at the very bottom of the funnel, from all of that, you get a lifetime of inbound sales, inbound leads, inbound relationships. And I tell people all the time, social media is not complicated. It really is a mathematical formula. You have to create content that gets a lot of views, which leads to a lot of followers, which leads to a lot of subscribers, which leads to a lifetime of inbound leads, inbound sales. You don't want to, as a business, you don't want to always be going, knock, knock. I'd like to sell you my shit. Is anybody home? You see these videos where these kids are going door to door selling stuff, and some guy comes out and says, "Get off my property, I'll shoot you." You don't want to be that guy. I mean, mad respect to those guys, because that's a lot of hard salesmanship right there.
It is.
Real value in life is when people can come to you because you have put out so much good content, they consider you the solution to their problems.
That's right. That's 100% right.
That's right. By the way, operator standing by, if you have a balding issue, I will show you how to shave the shit off by yourself.
Yep, it saves some money on that hairdresser for sure.
That is true. I definitely have not spent money on. I will say one thing though. Even though I can do it myself, every now and then I love just going to the barber shop, hanging out, talking to the guys. I got this barber shop right down the street. I love it. It's like one of my favorite places. I actually go there not for the haircut, but for the environment, the engagement. And actually, they do a much better job cutting my hair. So granted, it doesn't take much effort because you basically go right to the one blade and the razor. But when I get done out of there, I feel better because I had community. I created a bond with some people inside the barbershop. We chopped it up. We talked about football. We talked about boxing. Heck, we talked about women. By the way, there's no women at that barbershop, by the way. I mean, there might be one, but she's probably a lesbian or something. So
She's one of the guys. She's one
she's
of the
one of the
guys.
guys. She's butch. She's
Yeah.
butch. So at the end of the day, talk to me a little bit about overcoming your fear in life, because people are afraid to be on their own. People are afraid to move to Phoenix. I'm afraid to move to Phoenix because I once went there with a friend of mine for lunch, and he left his iPhone in his Mercedes. And we just went to lunch for, like, no joke, 45 minutes. Shout out to Chipotle. I fucking love you. And when we got to the car, his iPhone had melted into the dashboard.
Oh
Not
my
not all
gosh.
the way in, but like enough. He literally had to pry it out, and there was like a spot where his phone was. And I thought to myself, holy fuck, is it hot in Phoenix? And then I moved to Vegas and I realized, holy fuck, is it hot in Vegas? Granted, shout out to Vegas. We've had a mild summer. Thank you, good Lord. Or we're spraying seeds in the air and we're trying to create some fictitious ozone by the government. But shout out to all the government weirdos. That's my conspiracy theory. I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I'm pretty sure you're right too.
Right. Well, I'm like, oh, look, that plane. Oh, it's got a streaming trail of what the fuck is that? I love when people tell me, oh, that's just exhaust from the plane. It's a jet. There's no exhaust. It's a jet. That's
Those
not
are
exhaust.
just those are just ice crystals
Yeah,
because
no,
of the
no. Exactly.
temperature difference.
Exactly. It's exhaust. There's no exhaust. It's a jet. Do you understand how jets work? No
Yeah,
exhaust. It's not like a car that has a muffler.
right? You're not up there in a rocket. For God's sakes, there's no flame coming out the back.
For like about most of my life, my friends or people that know me have always said, "Hey, you're a conspiracy theorist." I'm like, "Oh, so basically you're saying I'm going to be right in 6 months instead of today." Appreciate it. So, so whenever I tell people, "Hey, you see that shit? I don't know what the fuck they're spraying in the air, but I'm pretty sure it's not good for us." And here's the other thing too. This year, unlike any other year, I've had so many people tell me their allergies are the worst they've ever been. And for me in May, it was unbelievable. Like I was sick as a dog from allergies. And I
Hmm.
thought to myself, why is it so all of a sudden that people are getting bad allergies? And I thought to myself, because those motherfuckers are spraying some shit that our body is saying, hey, we don't want that stuff in our nasal cavity.
Yeah, I
By the way,
wouldn't.
shout out to the government weirdos that are doing all that stuff. Please don't shut me down today.
Now, shut yourself down. You know what you're loading onto those planes and you're spraying in the air. Just frickin' stop it. Stop it.
I mean, when the guys with dark sunglasses come into your life, you know pretty much you've knocked on the wrong door.
Well, we know what'll happen. We know what's happening if all of a sudden our internet gets cut right now.
I'm actually shocked it hasn't been cut already. Shout out to Cox. I appreciate you guys not cutting the line.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, not intentionally anyway. Man, I swear to God, as soon as I can get fiber in this place that's reliable, Cox is gone,
I'll
dude.
be honest with you. What do you need fiber for? My buddy turned me on to Starlink. That shit's fucking unbelievable.
Really?
Oh my god! Like, so I sometimes go out camping with my dogs. And by the way, taking 4 dogs camping, a little bit of work there. But like I take the Starlink Mini. Holy fuck, 220 megabytes per second, which for being on a wireless, that's awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm doing 250 at the house right now. Now,
I'm,
obviously, that's hardwired.
yeah. I got hardwire. I got like 500, and I don't even think I need 500. Like if I had 200, I think I'm good. But
Yeah.
I just got the 500 because they give you this plan, and I said, all right, give me that fucker.
Yep. Yep. That's how they get you. And those upload speeds. That's what kills me is especially, doing these podcasts and uploading videos. It takes forever. It takes like an hour to get one
Really?
video uploaded. It's ridiculous.
I mean, don't take this wrong. I haven't had that issue. I just upload it and go and walk away and come back and it's done.
Yeah. Well, I don't sit there and watch it anymore. I do. I go do other things
Yeah,
because you
exactly.
drive yourself crazy.
Oh, I'd go cuckoo. I mean, like I hit upload and then it says, hey, 10%. I'll be like, fuck, I'll be back in an hour.
Exactly. Exactly. But you wanted to talk about fear when it comes to like branching out, starting something new.
Overcoming fear, like getting your mind right to overcome fear of anything.
Yeah. Uh, that only comes with two things. Passion that we talked about before. You've got to be passionate about what you're doing. That has to overrule the fact that you have fear in doing the thing. And then number two, you have to take action. Because when you're in action, when you're in
Massive action.
motion,
Massive
that's
action.
right. When
Can't
you're
leave
when
anything on the table.
no, no, when you're in motion like that, taking that massive action, even though it's imperfect, and it will be imperfect,
It's never going to be perfect. That is for
your
sure.
your fear, it goes away because you're not focusing on that fear anymore. You're focusing on doing the thing that you love to do and having it manifest out in the world. So those two things have to be true in order to get past that fear.
I think you have to have purpose too, because if you're going to do something with massive action, you better have some purpose behind that. You better have some like real emotional connection to what you're doing. Because if you're not emotionally connected to what you're doing, you're just going to half-ass it. But when you're emotionally connected to what you're doing, you are going to pour everything you've got into it. You are going to literally build masterpieces around your life. I can look around my life and see the shit that I've not been emotionally connected to
Hmm.
and doing towards, and I realize, fuck, I could have done better. But the things that I'm emotionally connected to are masterpieces.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that you brought that up because, yes, that is another piece of it that can help you push through that fear. But another thing that that emotional connection does for you is it keeps you going when shit gets hard. When you feel like
And
you
and
don't
shit
want
will get hard. By the
to,
way,
it
I'm gonna
will.
start selling the shit gets hard t-shirt after this podcast.
I love it. And it's the truth, man. It is the absolute truth. So
You
you
know,
got to
one
be ready for that.
speaking of t-shirts, one of the things that I tell people every day is make today count. And so I'm sober 16 years. And
Good
partly
for you.
because a judge gave me a choice, sobriety or jail. And I made an easy decision. I said, okay, I'll take this one. And she said, all right, good. You got to be sober for 3 years. We're going to piss test you every 30 days. And at the end of those 3 years, you're going to be absolved of your sins. But if you fuck up, you're going to do the whole 5 years because I was looking at 3 to 5 years. So
Mm.
when I first went home that day, I just like I started thinking to myself, I'm like, holy fuck, 3 years, 3 years. How do I not have one drink of alcohol even by accident in 3 years? Because she gave me they give you this list of things. Don't accidentally drink mouthwash with alcohol because that will spike your thing, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
And I'm
Yeah.
looking at it, I'm like, I'm like, chocolate? Chocolate has alcohol? I thought to myself, I am so fucked. I can't mouthwash. I can't eat dark chocolate. I am fucked beyond fucked. So I thought to myself, I'm like this overwhelming like thought kept going on in my head, like 3 years, 3 years, 3 years. Then I started realizing, oh, like fuck, I can't think about the 3 years. I just got to break it down into like 1 year. And then I thought to myself, fuck that. I got to break it down into 6 months at a time. Then I was like, fuck that. I got to break it down into like 1 month. I got to just figure out how to stay sober this month. And I was like, fuck that. I got to figure out how to stay sober today. And I started doing that. And I said, all right, today's the day. I'm just going to focus on today. And then I didn't have any alcohol. So then the next morning I woke up, I said, I had this little checkbox. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I got to figure out how to do it today. And I just kept doing that. And after 90 days, I started realizing I wasn't staying sober. I was creating a new pattern. I was creating a new habit. I was literally training my life to basically make each day count. I was figuring out a way to win this day. I was winning one day at a time. I didn't give a fuck about tomorrow. And I didn't give a fuck about yesterday because yesterday was gone. I was starting to really start to live my life one day at a time. And that since then, that has ultimately helped me become amazingly successful in all areas of my life. Not just avoiding alcohol and being a sober living human being. Which, by the way, just so we're clear, I got news for people. You can live your life any way you want, but when you cut alcohol out of your life, you live healthier, you live more clear-minded, you achieve more. You're not dragging through the weeks. The nights that I used to drink, it'd take me like 2, 3 days to get that laggy feeling of, oh fucking I'm hungover, oh I'm fucking dragging. And plus, you're not dehydrating your inner organs with alcohol. So people can do whatever they want, but sober living is a life hack that will improve all of your areas of your life, your health, your wealth, your family, your friends, your social activity, everything. And I tell people this all the time, not from experience, not trying to get everyone to be sober living, just because it's a hack that nobody really understands. And I see more and more young people these days avoiding alcohol. So I think it's actually
Hmm.
good because more people are starting to embrace that. Shout out to all the alcohol companies that are still making billions of dollars.
Yeah, you're right. I think they call it sober curious right now, is what's happening between people that have drank in the past and then others, like you said, that are coming up that really don't seem to have much interest in it at all. And, just like you, I don't really care if you drink or you don't. My whole thing with that is just have some moderation. If you're gonna do it in moderation to where it
Shout out to
doesn't
all the tequila
interrupt.
I drank without moderation.
Yeah, so that it doesn't interrupt your life. And believe me, dude, I was there in my in my early to
Hey,
mid 20s.
guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. All I can tell you is alcohol and moderation are two words that are hard to put in the same sentence sometimes.
They are. They are.
So when they ask,
Especially
so what happened last night? Well, I tried to drink alcohol in moderation. It just didn't work once I started drinking.
yeah.
You
It's
know,
like
we started lining up shots, and then there was that hot girl, and I wanted to get her drunk, and somehow I got drunk instead. And at the end of the night, well, moderation just fucking went under the bus. We ran over moderation a few times. Where the fuck was Wilson when I was getting drunk? Wilson, you could have talked me out of it, man. Oh, who knew? All I needed was to carry around a volleyball with my bloody handprint on it. Who's that? That's my sponsor. It's Wilson, man.
right. He's keeping me in line.
Shout out to Wilson. Oh, the greatest actor who never had a line in a movie.
Right? Oh my
Oh,
God, that's
and the
funny.
Oscar goes to Wilson.
Didn't Didn't he didn't he show up on stage at the Oscars that year? I could have swore he did.
Okay, now I got to go look that up because if that's true, that's when. Wait a second. When he said showed up on stage, like he came on stage with Wilson in his hand because Wilson didn't have legs.
Well, of course, that's what I mean, yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say if that's true, I got to go look that up because that's even more hilarious.
Yeah. And it could be just a total figment of my brain and false memories, but I think that that did happen, so
Dude,
feel free to look it up.
you know what'd be hilarious is they got this whole blue jean thing going on because of that one actress, and can you imagine like Wilson and it's laying next to a pair of blue jeans, and then the ad just basically says it's in the jeans, and then
It's in the genes.
we resurrect. And that's the neat thing about AI now too. You can make that commercial right now, and with a very few amount of prompts, and literally you could make that commercial and share it on social media. It could go viral, and it doesn't require any of the tools of the past to make that commercial.
Hmm.
And you can make it in like 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, so I have a question for you. We're talking about this top of funnel and social media, and something that I've been seeing, especially on LinkedIn, is people are posting all of this quote unquote viral content, like feel good videos or whatever, that have absolutely nothing to do with what they do in their professional life or business. It's just about trying to get views. In your opinion, does that make is that a smart play to do something like that just to get attention on your account when it has nothing to do with what you do?
Yeah, so I got to share something with you. I only figured this shit out about a year ago, and I'm 59. So shout out to all the youngsters that figured that shit out at the age of 14 or 12 or even nine. Nine for that little kid that's selling toys at Walmart made like 29 million last year. Way to go, kiddo. You ever see that kid? He's got the egg full of toys and stuff of it.
Is that the kid that has
I think
the
his name's
review
Ryan.
channel?
Yeah, the review channel. His name's Ryan. His dad basically
Yeah.
set him up for success for the rest of his life by
Oh my God,
put him
yes.
into a YouTube sweatshop. Shout out to his dad. I'm just joking. You didn't put him in a sweatshop. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm learning this stuff in later in life, and I put out a so here I'll share some with you. I put out a video of my dogs, any one of my dogs, doesn't matter. The big guy, the little guys, they can do something cute, not cute. They can just be eating breakfast. That motherfucking video gets views, comments like crazy. I put out inspirational quotes. That video gets some views and comments, but nowhere near as much as the dogs.
Hmm.
When people, when you can get views at the very top, actually, you know what? Oh man, I'm going to send you a graphic. My AI messed up the word at the bottom, so I got to fix it up a little bit. But it's a funnel. It's actual picture of a funnel. It says views, followers, subscribers, lifetime of leads and sales. And if you ever notice guys like Alex Hermosi, who's just a freak about doing social media every day, like
Right.
just a freak, just repurposes content, puts it out there, as a team of people do it for him. He literally puts shit out there to get a million views a day, or maybe 10 million. Well, I don't even know what his numbers are. Those guys have figured it out. And he runs an acquisition company. It has nothing to do with some of his content. His content might be about life lessons, might be about fitness. I don't even know if he has a dog. Maybe he does one about his dog. But the idea is the more views you can get, the more followers you can get. And the more followers you can get, the more subscribers to your business you can get, and the more sales you get. And it all funnels down. And the thing at the top is all about views. So
Hmm.
I'm not saying it doesn't take to do anything to get a views. I mean, you don't want to walk around naked and sell that to do, which by the way I think might get a lot of views. So for some of us, might definitely not me. I'm not walking around naked. But at the end of the day, and shout out to all the OnlyFans girls that are getting views like crazy. So at the end of the day, the top of the funnel all deals with views. You got to get views, and the more views you get, the better off it's going to be for you to get never-ending flows of leads and sales, which is what everyone wants.
Right. Right. So as long as it doesn't stray too far from, who you are as a person or a business,
I talk
you
about
can,
core values. Like, keep it within your core values.
yeah.
Are my puppies in my core values? Hell yes. Is sports in my core values? Yes. Is inspirational conversation about my core values? Yes. Is talking about faith inside my core values? Yes. Is walking around naked and showing my ass on a YouTube dance or a TikTok dance not my core values? Not going to do it. I'm sure it works for somebody else. Shout out to my buddy John Sarasani. I'm a great dancer, probably one of the greatest dancers of all time. I got a
Uh,
I got a friend John Sarasani, and older guy, former football player, not as old as me, maybe a little bit younger, but he's out in Schaumburg, and he's doing the whole build your social media business thing. And he's funny as fuck. I'm not kidding you. He'll break a rib laughing some of his shit. But every like 50,000 followers, he does like this dance, and
Huh.
it brings out some of the old tunes, the old music. He's like dancing away, and here's this muscular 6'5" guy, former football player, dancing his ass off in front of the camera in the middle of his lobby of his house or something. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, maybe I should do that. And I look at one of my dogs and or all of them, and they'll be like, do not fucking do that. It just will not play out the same way. Do not fucking do that. I'm like, but yeah, but it's working for him because every 50,000 people tune in to watch him fucking skipping and dancing. I'm like, I could do that. And then all four of my dogs like, don't fucking do that. It's a bad idea. So it's funny because you can do that content and it works for you. Be yourself, be transparent, be who you are. Somebody asked me the other day, like, oh, you swear a lot. Do you think you worry about offending people? I'm like, listen, let me tell you something. If I change who I am to appeal to more people, the people that I appeal to are because I'm being fake. I'm not being authentic. I'm not being organic. But if I'm organic, I'm authentic, I'm exactly who I am, the people that I offend, they were never going to like me. Like my grandmother told me a long time ago, she came over here during World War II on a Navy ship. And she taught me at a very, very early age this one thing. And if I tell you one thing that you remember today, make it this one thing. And it applies to today more now than it did 30 years ago, 40 years ago when she was alive. And she said, listen, in life, 40% of the people you meet are going to like or love you. 40% of the people you meet are not going to like you and might even hate you. And 20% of the people you meet, they don't care. They're indifferent. She said, to the people that like and love you, show them love. To the people that are indifferent, show them respect. To the rest, fuck them all. And she said, you've got to literally put it out of your mind that if you waste 1 second of your life trying to appeal to the people that will never like you, you're wasting your time. You're trying to get people to like you that don't like you, which is never going to happen. You might think it happens, but at the end of the day, they might sugarcoat it and say, now I like you. And behind your back, like, I still don't like them.
Right.
And I tell people, we got young kids in school, especially girls. I feel bad for guys with, girls that are young and going through grade school or high school. They feel like they have to appeal and get everyone to like them. And I think kids should be taught at a very early age. Do not give a fuck about the people that don't like you. Doesn't mean you have to hate them. Just cut them out of your life. Don't worry about them. Focus on the people that like and love you. Give them love. Focus on the people that are indifferent. Give them respect. Everyone else, they should never take 1 second of your precious life away from you because
Oh,
that's time you can never get back.
that is fantastic advice.
You got
And
kids?
no, I don't have kids,
Anybody
but
that's got kids, trust me, teach them
yeah,
that lesson early on, and they will be a happier kid growing up. I see all these kids, sad fact that they commit suicide or do crazy things, and it's because of social media. Social media gets
yes,
into their head and it fucks with them. And by the
yes.
way, there's a guy, I can't remember who it was, he did a study, and he said, since the advent of social media, kids have become less social. They've learned less about being social. And he gave examples. Like when you meet a young kid today, 10 years old, 11 years old, whatever, their first reaction these days is to just sit there and look at their phone while they're in front of you. They don't look you in the eye and they don't shake your hand and introduce themselves. When I was young, my grandmother taught me one lesson that has paid dividends 10 times over. When I meet somebody, I'm in a crowd of people, the very first thing I do is I reach out my hand, I shake their hand, I look them right in the eye, and I say, hey, my name's Chris. What's yours? And that simple task alone is not happening anymore. You don't see it, especially amongst with kids.
You're right.
In fact, a lot of kids these days, when they're right in front of you, they'll be like, let me check out this, let me check out that. And they won't even look at you. And that's antisocial. That is not being social. And inherently, social media has made kids less social. It's made human beings less social.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I've been around young kids in today, and if you try to have a conversation with them, like they don't know how. Like they don't know how to have a conversation.
That's right.
It's it's scary. And you're like, how are you going to thrive? How are you going to survive in this life when you don't know how to communicate with other people? It's, oh my God. Yeah.
I couldn't agree
Yeah.
with you more. And at the end of the day, it's super important as parents. And it's sad too, because now the parent unit over the last 30 years has become single parents. You're taking either the father out of the equation or the mother. And I hate to say this, but kids today, now more than ever, need a strong father more than ever before. And all the whole baby mama craze, let me get baby mamas pregnant and have five baby mamas with seven kids or whatever. That shit is destructive for those kids. And
Yeah.
that's actually horrible for society because those kids grow up without a strong father in their life who can give them values, directions, and fear. Kids have to be afraid of somebody. For me, it was my grandmother. That woman could crack a wooden spoon like a ninja. Like I get out of line, she'd hit me in the knuckles with that thing like a scientist. Like she was a marksman with that noodle.
She didn't used to be a nun, did she?
No, no, definitely not a nun. She came over during the end of World War II, and she fled Germany, and
Mm.
she came to America, and she worked three jobs, and she worked them to, provide a house, and she would make food in the house like all the time. Like I'd be, Mom, Grandma, can we go eat out? She's like, no, sit down, I'll make you something, and she'd make you like this world class German meal. Like it was great, it was unbelievable. Every now and then, Grandma, can we go to McDonald's? No, it's garbage. Let me make you something. She make you something pretty much blue cabbage. Like she loved making blue cabbage. By the way, if you've ever had blue cabbage, German blue cabbage, that shit is fucking the bomb if they make it right. She put an apple in there, some onions. It was very good. Put a little bit
It
of ketchup.
sounds it sounds amazing. There's a lot of Volga Germans in my community growing up, so I'm familiar with some of
Wait, did
that
you say
fare.
vulgar?
Volga.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say my grandmother was a vulgar German. Part of the reason was she spent 30 days on a Navy ship coming to America. And
Oh, that yeah.
when she learned English, she learned it from a bunch of Navy sailors. And she literally thought that Americans like to say the word fuck every third word. So she came here and she taught us. She said, listen, kids, I want you to know one thing. She taught me this. She said, listen, when you talk, if you don't swear, people pay attention to 75% of what you're saying. But if you swear, they pay attention to 100% of what you're saying. I'm 4 years old. I'm like, all right, my grandma told me it's got to be true. Literally did more detention growing up in grammar school and high school than any kid alive. In fact, shout out to Mrs. McKee, my algebra teacher. I think she put me in detention 16 times because I said the word fuck in the middle of a presentation.
Huh.
Granted, Mrs.
Uh,
McKee, you were kind of heavy set too. I'm kind of hoping you shed some of that weight because that was way too much weight to carry. At the end of the day, you got to literally be transparent. Who you are is who you are. And if you try to change to appeal to other people, you're only giving them a fake version of yourself to get the fake version of them. So, for example, you're going to make changes to who you are to appeal to them. And then they're going to tell you that they like you when they really don't. So you're literally both exchanging fake versions of who you are.
mm,
And
yeah.
it's funny, I've had people tell me, well, yeah, I'm in this high profile job and I can't say that stuff and I can't speak my mind even though I want to because I gotta worry about what I say. It might offend some people. I said, listen, God wants some people to be offended. If I can't offend some people once in a while, they won't come to me and tell me they're offended, which might give me a different perspective. We live
Mm,
in a world these days where people are afraid to offend anybody. I got news for you. God wants you to offend somebody. If you're true to yourself and you're literally who you are and it offends somebody, that person might come to you and say, hey, that was offensive. Maybe you should work on that. And you know what? Sometimes I look at that and I go, you know what? You're right. I should work on that.
yeah. It's we're all a mirror for each other. That's 100% right. This has
By,
been
by the
good
way, shout
stuff,
out
man.
to Meta Corporation and Mark Zuckerberg for censoring everybody so that they can't be their true selves. See, we got these social platforms. Oh, you can't say that. Why not? That's what I wanted to say. Oh,
Yeah,
you
right.
can't say it or we're going to ban your account. Okay, Zuckerberg, you little Satanist.
Yeah, it's hate speech or it's racist or
It's
whatever
funny.
whatever else.
They tried to get somebody from Facebook to describe what is hate speech. and it was some girl, and it was literally the most retarded explanation I've ever heard in my life. And they said, "What is hate speech, and who determines it?" Just word salad came out of her mouth, and the guy was like, "Okay, so what is hate speech?" Well, it's basically anything we deem to be hate speech. So you're the purveyor of what is hate speech. Yes, we are. So who put you in charge? Well, we did it ourselves. Oh, okay. So basically, you're a Nazi. Oh, see, that would be considered hate speech, but you're actually a Nazi. so, so it cracks me up when people are like, "Oh yeah, it's hate speech." Okay, well, what is hate speech? Well, it's anything I disagree with. Oh, just you. Okay, got it. So you're basically
Hmm.
a Nazi. See, that's hate speech, but you're acting like a Nazi.
Well, and that just brings to the point the how important it is when you have that funnel to have a way to get people out of the top of the funnel, the social media, and into your direct line, be it an email list or like a
Well,
private
you don't have
group
to.
or
You don't have to worry about that because the more views you get, people that don't like you won't follow you. So
true.
it literally, the more views you get of you being who you are, you literally will only attract the people that like you, that it align with you, what you're saying and your values. And then all of a sudden, the people at the bottom that subscribe and do business with you, you're like, oh man, I like all these guys. I don't even know the guys that didn't follow me.
Right.
Or
Right. And
girls, just to keep it equal. I'm pretty sure I offend women too.
and
Shout
I
out to
was
everybody in the WNBA.
oh oh boy.
And by the way, I have not thrown a dildo on the court yet, partly because I don't ever plan on buying a ticket to one of your idiot games.
Oh yeah. That I that's one of those stories you hear about. And it's like, is that real? Like, am I just being trolled right
That
now?
somebody's
But
throwing a dildo. Okay, let me ask you a question. How stupid of a league do you have to be, a sports league, to be so bad that your fans actually have more interest in seeing a dildo come on the court than actually watching the game itself? Like people are betting more money on the color of a dildo that will be thrown on the court at a WNBA game. And now the commissioner of the WNBA, some girl, she literally says, "You know what? We're thinking about banning all fans." I'm like, there you go, sunshine. Get rid of all the fans that you got left. Don't let them come to the game because you're worried that one of them is going to throw a lime green dildo on the court. And it's so funny too because you ever see in these videos where they go pick up the dildo, it's almost like they're picking up a nuclear weapon. They're like, they put on a glove, the
Glove.
girls are all standing away from it. Stand back. And then some security guard comes in and just grabs it and holds it like this. It's a nuclear weapon. It's just a dildo. Come on. I mean, and then by the way, just shout out, ladies. I'm pretty sure you've seen the dildo before. It's not like, rocket science.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I saw that one of the guys that I follow online was talking about that the poly market bets about what
Yeah,
color it's
Polymarket.
going to
Shout out
be.
to Polymarket. You guys are best.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous, and the fact they stopped the game when that chick's wig fell off.
Well, see, that's the funny thing. I thought to myself, okay, I get it. Well, it didn't fall off. The girl actually pulled it off. The opposing player. I will say one thing about the WNBA. Those bitches do not play nice. They will fuck each other up over all kinds of little stuff. But the girl that actually pulled her wig off they must have had some sort of like beef going on. But the fact that they stopped the game so she could go and have her professional weave put back in and then come back into the game, I thought to myself, this is the epitome of knowing you don't really have a real sports league.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that you're wearing accessories like that into a physical
Well, how do
confrontation,
you how do you
like,
sweat in a fake weave? Like I got no hair. So if I had to have like a weave glued to my head, I'm pretty sure it would like cause me to sweat abnormally because the glue cuts off your pores from breathing. You're running up and down the court. I mean, do you guys want me to wear a wig for a podcast one day? Like, you want me to put one on? Let me know in the comments because I'll tell you what, if you do, if I get enough comments, I might try it out. Just shout out to all the girls in the WNBA that are wearing a wig.
yeah, it's wild. It's wild, man. And they want to do all this raising awareness and scuttlebutt about, oh, pay
I
us
think
what
the
we're
dildo's
worth and
raising
all
awareness
that.
for the league, by the way. I think pretty
Oh,
sure the flying dildos have made the league very aware. People are very aware of the WNBA now.
yeah, yeah. They're watching Sports Night for those clips. You'd be like,
I,
is it gonna be tonight? Is it gonna be tonight?
I'm not kidding you. I've had a friend of mine that made a significant amount of money on the dildos betting, And he's like literally, I'm only watching the game to see the dildo come on the court. And then he was telling me, he's like, I didn't realize how bad basketball was until I actually had to watch some of their games just to see what color dildo hit the court. These girls are horrible.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, by the way, shout out to Angel Reese. You're doing your thing, girl. All right,
Wild
so
times.
I like to end everything on an inspirational message. What
Let's
would
do it.
you tell somebody right now that's watching this to inspire them to get off the couch and chase their dreams, to inspire them to overcome their fear? Talk to them about mindset and getting their mind right so they can get their life right, so they can get their money right.
You're going to die. You
Shocking
are
news. Shocking
you
news.
we go through our lives ignoring that fact. I'm guilty of it too. But you've got a dream, you've got a passion, you've got a purpose that you want to fulfill, but yet you're stuck on the couch, not wanting to do anything, not wanting to get started, not wanting to risk being seen as something else or disliked or anything else that we've talked about on this podcast today. You've got to come to the realization that your life is finite. And do you want, and no, no, not do you want, do this with me. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and put yourself 80 years down the road. You're in your deathbed. Do you really want to look your loved ones in the eye that are standing there around you? Do you really want to look them in the eye and say, I had this dream, I had this passion and purpose, but I was afraid of somebody wouldn't like me or that I couldn't live up to my purpose. Do you want to look your loved ones in the eye on your deathbed and say that? And if the answer to that question is no, then get off your ass and do something because we're here to support you.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Brian, great talk. We got to do this again. I think we've covered all the important topics.
I think we have.
Dildos, getting your mind right. I think it's important that people get a chance to find out more about you. So in the link below, send me all the contact links you want, and we'll upload it with all the clips. I'll see you maybe in Phoenix. Come and hang out. We'll chop it up down there in September. Other than that, thanks a ton, man.
Absolutely. It's been a real pleasure, Chris. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Hold on.